Hey guys, and welcome to my first upload. If you haven't heard of me, that's fine. I don't think anyone has. However, today I would like to give you beginner's tips to those wanting to start on Hypixel Skyblock. Now, I know there are tons of these out there, just saying the same things, so I will try to make it as original as possible, and keep out the obvious stuff like just grind more bro, and things like that. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe. It will motivate me to upload more than I have in the past year or so, let's get into it. I know I said I would include obvious stuff, but I wanted to include this because people seem to forget that skills are super important, including myself. So, when you first start off, it's important to get the foundation levels, like for combat level 12, you need to get to the end, and for mining level 5, you need access to deep caverns. But it's also super important to continue leveling, especially your combat. It can make a huge increase to your damage, and on top of that, it's relatively easy to level up, by just killing endermen and ghasts. Now, I'm not saying you should immediately get to level 25 and above, right? You don't need to be the best on the server when you first join, but you should have at least combat level 20 before doing any types of slayers, which we'll talk about later, or any dragons. Foraging can also be an important skill, as to get foraging levels you need to mine wood, and wood sells for a lot on the bazaar because of the new NPC limit that was added a few days ago. So if you have a little extra spare time, just go farm some endermen or some ghasts, and, get that level up, because it will make a huge difference later on. Now, when me and my co-op first started our island, our first goal was to get every single minion in the game. At the time, that was like 70 or something like that. So we did it pretty fast. So that brings us to our next tip, I guess, which is get minions as fast as possible. If you don't know what minions are, they are unpaid workers that work on your island 24/7, even when you're offline, mining resources, farming, and even killing mobs for you. So, when you're mining and you unlock a new minion, just take a few seconds to make it. It won't take long, and it can make a huge difference, unlocking more slots on your island for your co-op and for you. And now, since the Bazaar update that added NPC buy limits, minions have become infinitely more valuable because of items that used to be easy to obtain, like wood and gold, now go for, well, a fortune. Well, I mean, a small fortune at that, but money is money, especially in early game. Alright, so this next tip is going to be pretty hard to explain, but I'll try my best. So what I want to discuss is talismans and reforges. Talismans are extremely important, not just early game, but mid game and late game as well. Talismans, or accessories, as they're known now, are items that give you a buff. This buff can either be completely useless, or not. For example, a useless one would probably be level 1 monsters will not attack you, and a very useful one will be increasing the amount of XP you earn when you kill a mob. Now, buffs increase with the rarity of the talisman. Some talismans can also be upgraded. For example, legendary bat artifact adds, I think, plus 5 HP, plus 3 speed, and plus 3 intelligence, whereas the epic bat ring adds only plus 3 HP, plus 2 speed, and plus 2 intelligence. These stats can be increased or decreased by reforges. What I was trying to show here is that an epic bat can be upgraded into a legendary bat. So by doing this, this will make the epic bat useless in your accessories bag or in your inventory because it will no longer give you the buffs it had. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Back to the video. Reforges can either add or remove stats from armor, weapons, and talismans. Specifically, crit damage, crit chance, and, well, strength. Now, what you want on your talisman depends on two variables mainly, crit chance and overall damage. Personally, I've made mine go for the highest damage by using an optimizer like SP Simplified, link in description, to get the most damage out of my talismans. You can see really confusing at first, but once you start getting talismans, it'll make more and more sense as you go on. Reforging armor and swords can also be very helpful. Some reforges can add huge buffs like Spicy or Godly. Spicy is for swords, Godly is for armor. However, Spicy and Godly are pretty rare to get and can take a lot of money to when you are reforging. So when you're buying from the auction house or something like that, make sure it has already been reforged just to save time and money. So this next one, I had no clue existed or was really a thing outside of guilds until I watched a video by a guy named Rage Train. So if you want a better understanding of it, I will link his video and his channel in the description. I recommend checking him out. He puts pretty good quality into his content and deserves more subs. First of all, the bazaar flipping can be risky, so I don't recommend to immediately do this and put all your life savings into it. Start out small and play smart. Bazaar flipping is where you find items that have a good margin between buying and sell orders. Buy for less, sell for more. Simple. After you found one, let's say lapis lazuli, make a buy order for less than the top buy order, wait for it to be filled, and then make a sell order for profit. Quick tip for beginners guides is you can actually buy 20 stacks of iron and gold instead of only 10 by maxing out the NPC in the hub and the NPC in the gold mine. Believe me, it's not that much, but it'll be the easiest profit you'll ever make. Another easy way to make money off of the bazaar is selling wood that you bought from the merchant and selling it to the bazaar for profit. For maximizing your profit, make sure you sell at peak times and buy at non-peak times. Again, it's not much money, but early game it can make a huge difference. Important aspect of Skyblock is gear. This includes weapon, armor, and healing items. A good starter set would be the Hidden Mob set in my opinion. This set is comprised of the Skeleton Helmet, Guardian Chestplate, Creeper Pants, and Spider Boots. By the time you get this set, you should have also built up enough coins to purchase an aspect to the end from the auction house. This sword is one of the best starter swords you could buy that will last you till endgame due to its great teleportation ability. Another good starter weapon for the money is the Raider's Axe, but it requires a high wood collection and a ton of kills to max out its damage and strength. This is why I recommend new players to start out with the aspect at the end, and then start using the Raider's Axe when their wood collection is high enough and they can dedicate enough time to max it out with kills. Very important part of gear is health. Health can be raised easily by just finding all fairy souls spread throughout Skyblock. This will give you around 500 base hearts and plus 50 strength and defense. A good way to do slayers is with a radiant power orb. This is obtained through Sven Slayer quests, which brings us to the next topic. Once you have your talismans and a bit of extra money and some decent gear, you can start doing slayers by visiting Maddox the Slayer in the hub. Slayers are bosses that you spawn in by earning combat XP on a certain mob that is respective to the boss. For Svens you kill wolves, for Broodfathers you kill spiders, and for Revenant Horrors you kill zombies. Once the boss spawns, you have 3 minutes to kill it, and once it's dead, you go and talk to Maddox the Slayer again, and you collect your reward of 5 XP for Slayer 1 boss, 25 XP for a Slayer 2 boss, and 100 XP for a Slayer 3 boss, and finally 500 XP for a level 4 boss. Once you level up to around level 4 for each boss, you can craft special armor that makes higher tier bosses much easier to do. Maximum level is 9 for each Slayer. I personally recommend leveling each and every boss to level 6, as then you will get the best sword and armor for each boss, because you will need more and more XP as your Slayer level increases. Since this is my first video, I hope to get a lot of feedback and criticism in the comments. Everyone who's mentioned will be linked below. Special thanks to Obler for the huge help in fact-checking and writing parts of the script. It wouldn't be possible without him. Check him out on Discord in the description, and if you want more content like this in the future, make sure to subscribe and maybe leave a nice comment, right? See you guys in the next video.